There's a timing for elevation from God. God will do everything that He needs to do to make sure that your life changes because your time has come. It's your time to be elevated. Your time to be lifted has come. I don't know what you're believing God for, but soon enough, you will be celebrated. You will rejoice. You will share testimony, and those who once laughed at you will have to laugh with you. There are different ways God can elevate a man. It could be financially, physically, naturally, or even health-wise, but whatever it may be that you're desiring, I'm here to tell you today that you will get it. There's usually a time for several things to happen on earth and to happen to a man. The book of Ecclesiastes goes deep into detail in describing the seasons for a man. Indeed, there's a time to be lifted and elevated, and your time is now. God has promised you an increase and an elevation in everything that you lay your hands upon. Deuteronomy 28 verse 3-4 says, quote, "Blessed shall you be in the city, and blessed shall you be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of the body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kin, and the flocks of thy sheep." End quote. This is God's promise to you, an increase, a promotion that will surely come. God is a God who is just enough to recognize the labor of man and to constantly reward such labor. When He sees a man actively working hard, He goes ahead to bless such a person with a significant increase that'll cause them to be elevated. I don't know how long you've been desiring that increase or how long you've been working for it. But as far as you've worked for it, it's your time to be blessed and elevated by it. God will cause an overflowing increase to come upon that which you have worked upon. The most important thing is that you've sown a seed. There's time for planting and time for harvesting. God's very ready to do His part and cause you to harvest bountifully. You've gone through your season of hard work and labor. It's now your season for increase and harvest. This is your time and season to be elevated. God is indeed ready to bless you beyond folds. You have God's grace upon you. The grace causes an increase in the results of your labor, and the results are getting multiplied beyond the labor. It's your season and time for divine elevation. God is here and very ready to elevate you. God's elevation is something that cannot be explained by any man. This type of elevation can break through any sort of barrier that you may have been experiencing before. God's hand is upon you, and He will lift you, irrespective of your circumstances, finances, or education. It is your season to be lifted up, and because of this, God will cause there to be a shift in your life. He will cause extreme favor to be upon you. Just like Esther, your life will be changed in a short while. God will create opportunities to make sure that your life is changed. If God has to remove another Queen Vashti, then He'll do so. God did it for Esther because it was her season to receive favor and be elevated. So, also it is now your season. You will be lifted. Queen Esther received favor. She didn't have to do anything to get things right. This is how powerful this season is for you today. Because it's your season for elevation, this shall also be your portion. Divine encounters and great doors of life-changing opportunities and favors will be opening up to you. Things that you've wanted but thought you couldn't get will start to appear at your doorstep because it's now your turn and God has opened His door upon you. No one at all can shut the door. Your season has come, and because of this, God's mercy will shine upon your life. Sometimes the reason people are still experiencing some hardship or the other is because of timing. Once your time comes, everything will be taken away. The woman with the issue of blood had experienced so many years, and she'd run from one doctor to the other, and she got worse. But when her time came, she touched a garment, and everything she wanted was given to her. She was restored to a new level. This sort of timing is what I speak of when I say that it is your time to be elevated. Your success level is going to be changed, and God will do anything that He needs to do to elevate you. Psalm 102 verse 13 says, quote, "You will arise and have mercy and loving kindness for Zion, for it is time to have pity and compassion for her. Yes, the set time has come, the moment designated." End quote. That's how important your timing is. And because your time is here, you'll no longer be held down anymore. Your time to receive blessing is here. And your time to dance and be celebrated has come. Every barrier that may have been holding you down is torn down and destroyed. Your life is totally in God's hands. I don't know if you've lost anything and you're hoping for restoration. Even if that's the case, your time to be elevated out of that loss has come. God will restore everything that you lost back to you in double portions. Like Job, He will restore the time and things that you've lost and elevate you beyond anything you can think or imagine. You must recognize that our God is a God who works with time and season. He doesn't do anything at the wrong time. Therefore, when a man's time for elevation and blessing comes, nothing will be able to stop such a person. Everyone on earth has time to get elevated. You must ensure not to be comparing yourself with other people. Don't compare the blessings and timings of other people with that of God in your life. You're on a different timeline, and you can't follow someone else's time frame. God is working with you based on your timing. If you struggle to rush and use the timing of others, you won't get significant results. However, if you can patiently wait for your timing, because it's your time, you'll see God locating you for your miracle. You won't have to struggle or toil for it. I don't know what you've gone through in life or what you may have been experiencing. Perhaps you've gone through a hard moment of setback, loss, or sickness. Maybe it was even so much that you just want to give up rather than try any longer. I'm here to tell you that you shouldn't give up on God and His power yet. I'm here to let you know that God is going to transform your life beyond your wildest imagination. Your time for elevation is here. Genesis 18 verse 14 says, quote, "Is anything too hard or too wonderful for the Lord? At the appointed time, when the season comes around, I will return to you." End quote. This has been God's promise to you all this while, and He hasn't forgotten you. He will surely bring it to pass over your life. There's nothing too big for God to do. He parted the wild Red Sea, and He's capable of doing even more. God brought people out of captivity and led them to the promised land because their time had come. This same God is the one on your case, and He will do it for you. Your season for elevation is here. Your story is changing. God will lift you and you will reap great blessings. God is setting up everything to align in your favor. Angels are working on your behalf, and everything is going to happen. Because it is your time, strength and honor will be your clothing, and you shall rejoice in your time. Your time to be lifted is here, and so your life is going to change. Rejoice, for you're in the season to get your inheritance from the Father. You will tell a new story. Irrespective of what you've gone through before this present time, your time of change has come. God wants you to receive the great things He has planned.